What's up guys, it's your boy. God, am I really gonna start saying those intro lines? So remember how I began the series of This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things? We're now really quickly approaching the punchline of the point of the entire series. This is why we can't have nice things. And by that I mean, yeah, Square Enix is actually banning streamers now, and that this is far from just an impotent statement issued yesterday. Just a hand-waving, oh naughty naughty. Heads are actually now rolling. A once laissez faire approach is clearly starting to spin out. This has very serious implications going forward for not just streamers but for the community at large, which could easily include anti-cheat, like the easy anti-cheat, which is literally what it's called, easy anti-cheat. Commonly it's abbreviated EAC, which is to say the least a massive, huge shift in the Final Fantasy XIV ecosystem. And just to be clear, EAC is used in Apex Legends, which is an extremely popular game in Japan. You can just enter Japan and Apex Legends and it comes right in your face. Also, apparently during my time perusing the internet I stumbled across interesting articles that there have apparently actually been arrests made for cheating in video games in Japan, as well as game modding is apparently illegal in Japan and punishable by prison and fines. Not gonna lie, if I was starting work and starting my morning shift pretty soon, I would actually be going down this rabbit hole, but alas, this was news to me, but like, these articles are clearly there, and I'm like, whoa, this is actually kind of crazy. The point is, this is why we can't have nice things. And the envelope, whether we want to admit it or not, has absolutely been pushed this time. Now let's get into it. Yesterday I did a video about Yoshi P essentially saying stop this madness with third-party tools. He defined third-party tools, hacks, mods, user interface enhancements, talking about high-end duties, Dragonsong's Reprise, world, ultimate first races, data mining, and more. My real question at this point is, why was PvP not mentioned in this? Where are these PvP cheaters actually getting like any repercussions? Because those ones are actually interfering with my gameplay, and like I'm gonna say in a minute, I'm pretty relaxed myself in my own personal opinion, but the PvP is actually really upsetting to me, because it's like, well, these cheaters are obviously cheating. They're actually actively ruining my experience. Anyhow, I'm dropping that PvP topic for a different video. That's all you're gonna hear about that here. So I'm not gonna rehash the entire article that Yoshi P did yesterday, which if you want to go to my video, I will read through it and like give some commentary for that there. But the large underpinning is basically, calm down the madness. It's time to stop. I'm thinking about editing that GIF in, but at the same point in time, I just want to keep this like a chill video. Which this article that Yoshi P made makes perfect sense. The world first race got a ton of eyes on Final Fantasy XIV's endgame scene, a game that is commonly said as being easy and all this and that. Oh, it has really hard, really gripping content, which is not surprising because UCOB on release was extremely difficult. But to say the least, Shadowbringers brought in the mass World of Warcraft player exodus to Final Fantasy XIV, and then Endwalker hit, and honestly it was a roaring success. So this, Dragonsong's Reprise Ultimate, being the first piece of Ultimate Raid content released in quite literally 2.5 years since the Epic of Alexander, roughly 2.5 years. This combined together, all of this, to be a far bigger event than honestly even most of my friends who were actively streaming World First Progression were actually expecting. Problem alert though, red hot problem alert. I don't want to raise my voice for saying that though, but seriously guys, it was a big problem. And that was actually probably the worst thing that we could have probably had happened. All that attention to the Prague, the World First rating and that, because people were using very obvious third-party tools, and many of them had overtly put some of these tools front and center on their screen, like actively went into their like stream settings, put it in their screen, and that is something that definitely should not have been done, which is gonna obviously make sense. Or mind you, from the context of this video, you'll probably understand exactly why I say that. Now people want to pin this or that or whatever else on why this is happening. The one proposed reason is that, shockingly, World First Race for Ultimate Raid had drama. Shocking. But somehow, literally years later, the community has not gotten any less obsessively petty about being the world first people to clear a fight in a video game. Chill, there's not. So the running theory is that the world first clears obtained due to the third-party tools. People are jumping on that speculation train. Now to add the disclaimer very clearly again, I personally don't care at all, and I am genuinely so busy with my own life and stuff, I respectfully don't care. fly a pig to the moon for all I care. Don't interfere with my gameplay, leave me alone. But the problem is that other people are not as chill as I am about it, and they care a lot, and they are actually horrifically upset about it. Understatement. Horrifically upset. Cycle back to what I said before. This is very different than the Epic of Alexander, because yes, we had really bad drama then. Like, I think that you would be hard pressed to be more dramatic than what happened there, because the sheer scale of people in the 14 community has completely changed. Like, I remember a year and a half ago, people were talking about me and talking to me and wanting to collab and all this and that, about me being a shining rising star in our community, and now I'm a busted up Mr. Happy wannabe that apparently no one wants to collab with because gay, alongside other joyful stuff that made me had a breakdown during work yesterday that I was sent. Oh, how the turntables. Point being in that is that the community has definitely changed, and so the ramifications of this have and will change. Fundamentally, it is a very, very different ballpark than even a year and a half ago, let alone 2.5 years ago. This is very different. So with this change, surely it would be absolutely shocking if Sony executives heard about this. You know, PlayStation and Sony that have basically been controversially sold out of PS5 for eons and undeniably have a lot of money because Sony is a very big company. We're talking very, very big. There's a phrase that rings true in business, but really in all of life. Money talks, bullshit walks, and Sony most certainly has strong ties to 14, and obviously a lot of money. What would probably butter their biscuit would be if they heard that console players were considered to not be given a fair chance at game content, and that console players actively felt selected against in groups, which is honestly true if you talk candidly to higher end rating circles. There's issues with how they can like parse on their own to apply to groups and upload. Like, you hear all of this kind of stuff in the higher end rating circles. Like, yeah, you're gonna hear people say, oh, but I know a console player. That's the point. They're like the exception. In that verbiage, you're like giving it away. Or what if the executives hear that PC players had an unfair advantage and that's the only reason they got world first, and that console players feel like they have no chance at that? Official tournament or not, the community obviously put value into it. Viewers were watching it, so hence there is innate value in it, whether the company is making it official or not. Remember that people and communities can give value to things. It's kind of like crypto if you think about it. Yeah, I can imagine that absolutely thrilling a Sony executive to hear, especially on Final Fantasy XIV that made up such a significant chunk of stats, whether you're looking at player count, whether you're looking at money. Like, 14 is not just a little thing. The Sony executive getting this information, I'm sure that they're just overjoyed if they hear that. So while things have been quite laissez-faire, we are seeing really the end of an era for 14. Of course, this doesn't really bring me joy to say, even though I said it earlier in the video, I'm personally very relaxed about pretty much everything. As long as it doesn't impact me like PvP, I'm less chill there, I need to admit. I don't generally care myself, but even if we want to like really push my viewpoint, I want more Rothgar hairstyles to be nice, and obviously if modding was a thing that I could do, especially because I make YouTube videos, like it would be obviously on my videos, I'd be the first person to mod Rothgar hairstyles. I'd probably have a backwards baseball cap and probably look like an extreme gym douche bro if I'm honest. So that would be my viewpoint, but so I don't get joy from this is my point I'm trying to say. But we're seriously seeing that the envelope has officially been pushed too far this time, and now we're starting to see the recoil of that, the consequence of our actions. Now we're really at the point where the real question is, with the chips on the table, where will Sony, Square Enix, Yoshi P, and the team land with all of this? We've now played our turn as the community, and the ball is, and always really was, in their court. And this is why we can't have nice things.